way down. Sometimes you get to past the ones you see on the way back down. It's a long way up, yes sir. It's a long way down, yes sir. You got to learn to love yourself before someone else. I said it's great to be a Georgia Bulldog. Say it's great to be a Georgia Bulldog. I said it's great to be a Georgia Bulldog.
You know what I'm saying? Their journey, their purpose, you know what I'm saying, might involve a little part of me, but when it comes down to my discernment for dealing with people, especially people who I feel like they don't want to do for themselves or whatnot, I'm really more into like why. What's the reason behind people feeling this way? What's the reason behind a person not wanting to do for or not having the energy? And what gives me the energy to do for self? Like, what do we see different? What has happened in our life different?
See, that's the main idea of keeping it real with Mr. White.
Okay.
Is to send this message of that so people can find out what they need to do
right
to get to what they doing. So I have a few people that comes and like give them their information,
right.
what they did to make it out, or what they
right.
did to change their thinking.
Right.
To show people it can be done.
Right.
That you just have to find your niche or
right.
your tool.
Right.
But some people tools are what they're using to, you know, block out past bad memories and things like that.
Right.
Some go to heroin,
right.
crack,
right.
pills,
right.
alcohol.
Right.
But you're not bad people.
Right.
Just those things change your mindset.
Right.
It put a damper on your mindset.
Right.
But then we have people that, something came up yesterday, that judge those people, but yet they in the same boat.
Right. Right.
Because they might be addicted to telephone,
right,
to YouTube, to sex.
Exactly.
They might be addicted to money. They might be addicted to going to church because they just left the club. They need something to replace it.
Right.
A lot of addicts I know that used to be on, do things bad. I mean, just used to be on it bad.
Right.
But one thing that they have come to use a lot is coffee.
Right.
They use coffee to replace their itch. They drink a lot of coffee. They go to meetings. Meetings, they supply a lot of coffee.
Right.
Some people, they hang out there because they mind might tell them in 2 minutes, shoot, go pick up that goddamn glass dick.
Right.
But here in this safe place for them, they getting the information that they need. Or they substituting that place from being in a trap house, from being in a recovery house. Different recoveries, just not for addicts. That's why they have mental health. But this little something I want to talk about today.
Right.
I'm Mr. White. Thank y'all for joining me today to another episode of Keeping It Real with Mr. White. Today, I got a special guest, 310 with a grin. Through friends, no ends because I'm struggling. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to let him introduce himself and tell him who he is.
Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm 310-0. Y'all know me from Veteran here in Athens. It's all good. We're going to have some good convo about some real issues and some real shit.
Pardo, forever.
Yep. They tore my neighborhood down, but, you know,
the name lives on.
Yeah, the things I learned from there is part of what we're going to tap into also.
Whoa, back up. Some of y'all that don't know, Pardo is one of the oldest projects in Athens. Well, was. One of the first ones that they tore down also. Now, you say some of the things we talked about is what you learned growing up from there
right.
in Pardo.
Right.
So you learned some good information in the projects?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Enlighten me, please.
Okay, let me give you an example. All right. When people are hurt or they are traumatized, if you can't afford things like therapy, you're gonna result to those street substances. You're gonna result to the people that's around in that same hurt and in that same energy. You're gonna result, and eventually over time, y'all will be the ones we call the crackheads. Y'all will be the ones we call the dope fiends, the people who done gave up. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like I said, it's not completely their fault, because we live in a society where now where it's supposed to be people with a mindset that give other people in the neighborhood the type of conversation, the type of let's talk about what the fuck traumatized you, my nigga, that got you out here wanting to be hard. Now let me tell you about myself. I was traumatized behind my brother first, because he was my first bully. So the face I put on was, from that, when I left, when I got older, the face I put on was, I don't give a fuck where I'm at. Niggas gonna know I'm one of the baddest in the room. I'm one of the ones, don't try me like that. But why did I feel like I had to be that way? Because of my trauma in the face that I put up. I ain't had nobody to talk to. I didn't have no money. My mom and them didn't have no funds for me to get counseling, or for me to talk to some psychiatry or somebody to get some help, what they call professional help. So I resorted to wearing a mask. You know what I'm saying? So I learned a whole lot from Pardo, especially at my age now. And I look back on life and I see that a lot of times the society and the facilities that got all this money that you have to pay to deal with, it's really an easy fix problem. It's just that we can't afford their means. When I say their, I mean society's means of healing. So I've resorted to some other types of healing, on some whole other level types of healing. I feel like it's people in the neighborhood that can supply the healing, because they supply the spirit. It was a lot of people out there in Pardo that wasn't with the bullshit. They was really nice, down to earth people, but because of our living circumstances and because of the environment we was in, the majority of them was on the rah-rah. But it's understandable, because it's all structured that way. It's strategically structured that way. So
you heard that? It's structured that way. So you saying that somebody put that project there, and that was they actually planned to be structured that way to build a foundation of hurting people?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
The first projects to ever be built in the United States was built in Atlanta, Georgia.
How about that?
It was
a lot of people think it might have been New York, but actually, Atlanta, Georgia.
It was Atlanta, Georgia. It was the what was it? I forget the name of the homes. Techwood Home. It was Techwood Home. Now, the reason they built the project was because we went through the civil rights movement. We went through the civil rights age, but with all these black people having this success, it's called a project. They had a project that they wanted to fulfill, and see, how did people act, and how can you change the nature of a person under a certain circumstance?
Experiment with the black folk.
Exactly. So they built up what they called the project so that they could see how people would react under extreme conditions. Now, first of all of us are already under the terroristic attack of paying rent. Whew. That's a terroristic attack, because the earth belongs to the people, and it's enough on the earth for us to share all the resources. No one has.
Boy, you sound like Kanye over there. Yeah, what?
No one has authority over the resources unless it's taken. That's where war come in. This is strategically done.
Isn't it how this land was taken?
Absolutely.
Man.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, bruh, I can look at you and tell you got indigenous in you. That means you got land that belongs to you right now. But us as men, we working to try to pay for what belonged to already us. But not see, coming up in the project, if you talk like this, a lot of niggas be like, I don't want to hear that shit, man. Not knowing that they the actual niggas that own the shit. But it's the mindset. Once you get to the mindset of not caring anymore or going through a certain amount of pain, you don't even care to hear who your ancestors were. You don't even care to hear who you were or what you have.
Then it becomes all about self.
Absolutely.
What can you do to get that quick fix, that quick justification?
Yeah.
But what we want you to do and be, we want you to be not selfish, but selfless. Like us giving you this free game right now.
Right.
So it can download in your brain. Maybe if you continue to keep coming to see us, it'll keep downloading. And then just maybe, because I don't expect you to change overnight, who you are is nobody's fault. It's my own fault. In so many years I've been me, and it's become part of my personality. So my personality is me. So I can't just change my personality overnight. I'm gonna have to take baby steps, cut some people, some places, some things off. I'm gonna have to stop dealing with those folks that's no good for me. I have to start worrying about what they saying about me.
That's right.
Because then I can give some of that back to somebody else. Don't you want to help your people? Don't you? Fuck the people. Don't you want to help yourself? What I'm saying, it continue to, me to look at me. So I can get not daily gratification, but so I can look at the small things, or every time I say something, make me go back to the past and realize this attitude that I had.
That's right.
Or listen to him like, shoot, man, my brothers, we used to fight all the time. Fight to kill each other with knives and things. Some of my first traumatizing acts are with my brothers.
That's right.
So when I move along in life and I be like, shoot, I'm not finna fight no goddamn 2, no 3 rounds or no 3 minutes. I'm finna fight to live. But motherfuckers don't fight no more.
No, they don't. It's easy to kill somebody fast. It's easy. And then after it's done, in that moment, in them 60 seconds that it took for you to pull that pistol and pull that trigger and do what you call handling that business, that moment is going to be the moment that make or break you in your future. Because I know people that done left here behind making that move, and I know people that still here behind making that move, but their conversation and their personality has changed.
You're not a punk if you be like, my bad, I'm sorry.
Man, say that shit again, man.
You're not a punk if you say, my bad, I'm sorry. But most men act like, that's like crying. We was taught not to, to be a man, that you ain't supposed to cry, or you the wolf, the alpha.
And ain't really no such thing. Because that nigga has hard times in his relationships with women. That nigga has hard times in his relationships with men, with business, with whatever you try to do. If you walk around with that mentality and that attitude, that it's soft for you to be apologetic, that it's soft for you to be peaceful, for you to take on the, okay, that was my fault, I'm sorry for that, how can I help fix that? To be honest, it was the niggas on the block that I was mad at after I became a man, because them niggas was men and they did not show no compassion. And I was young. So in my relationships growing up with young ladies, and then finally with my children's mother, in our relationship, she asked me questions like, why the fuck is you so mad? Is you so mean? What's wrong with you? That's the result of growing up with people making it hard or making it impossible for you to be apologetic and and grow into a real man. Ain't nothing wrong with apologizing. That's what real men do. That's what real men supposed to do. You don't make moves off of your emotions. Cause when that angry emotion is on the surface, you're not gonna make that discerned decision.
Check me out. And I'm gonna say this. Because you are, out of my top 5, one of my favorite rappers, MCs.
I appreciate that, man. You too.
Now, another guy that is also one of my top 5. Trick Daddy. I'm very disappointed in you. Something I seen you do. And I love you. I love what you're doing the cooking show too. Trick, got my pot. Yeah, all that. But Trick Daddy, it was an episode. Watch with my old lady, hip hop in Miami. And then you got Lil Killer and Suki Hana. Something that he was talking about. But some things that you're going through with, your ex or your wife. You bring Killer on a boat to be tempted by a lot of women. You want him to cheat on his girl after she just had surgery. Mm. But young man, Killer, I'm proud of you. Because you didn't want to be on that boat, really. You wanted to be home with Suki. But sometimes we do things, we want to fit in, or, we want to network. But Trick Dad, I'm just disappointed because you're who you are and you're the oldest. You're supposed to be teaching this young man game. Cheating on a woman is easy. But the idea is, shoot, let's try to make them all stay together. Let's spread love, kindness, peace. Peace, that's a long shot. But love, kindness, it don't make you weak. Free game.
Exactly. It don't. As a matter of fact, I had a young nigga tell me one time, okay, I said, let me ask you a question. This boy was 16.
Uh-huh.
I said, let me ask you a question. If I came through here with the nicest car, I had all the money to come snatch y'all up and do all the fun shit y'all want to do. I said, okay, what if we did that and then I told you I make my money off child trafficking?
Oh, shit.
That little young nigga looked at me and said, I don't give a fuck what you do. You the man, you got the cheese, you got the bread. I said, oh, man. Now, see, when you young and you oversexed and you are frustrated, you build this mentality of, first of all, not being faithful. You don't know what faithful is because you're moving off of impulse constantly. You don't know that the sexual act is the most sacred act that you can do with a human being.
Y'all hear that? Y'all just be goddamn.
But like I said, back in the day, niggas, the older niggas made you feel like you was a punk or you was gay or you something that was fucking wrong with you.
Because you didn't chase women?
Because you didn't chase women. Now, I was the type that I done been in circles where we running trains and shit, and I'm the nigga like, nah, I'm good. And of course I got clowns sometimes. But now I look back on us as men, and I look back now. Some of us got children, some of us don't. But our living standards and our mindset, it's like I can see that we was young and oversexed because of our neighborhood and the places we grew up in. We seen the shit dip and dabble, and the grown folk weren't paying too much attention, so we fell in line with this is okay, and people telling you this will make you a man. This is what. So now, I appreciate that shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? Because that's true. That's true. It's not cool to be what's called a cheater. You know what I'm saying? The best thing you can do is be honest. Because honesty is what grants you your happiness. Now, if you don't like one woman, don't get with no one woman and act like you like one damn woman.
But I thought other people supposed to be responsible for your happiness. Like he supposed to make me happy. I'm supposed to make you happy.
Absolutely not.
No?
Nah. Now I thought that.
I'm responsible for my own happiness?
You responsible for your
Stop
happiness.
it.
You is. Not me. Because I don't know what the fuck it takes to make you happy.
What?
But
what if I tell you?
If you told me
I need all the flashy things and the shiny things.
I still can't make you happy in that way because my life path is not going to line up with me making you happy. It's not going to line up with that. You have to learn to make yourself happy. That's one thing that we fell in a relationship area as black people because we looking at the mate like you supposed to be making me happy, and that's not the way a relationship really thrives. You know what I'm saying? That's putting a responsibility and a burden on someone else that don't belong to them. And really you saying, if I look at you and say, make me happy, goddammit, really I'm saying, I don't know how to make myself happy. I'm just fucking mad.
Dang, why you mad? Why
I'm
you
mad
wearing that mask?
Because I can't show who I really am. If I show my authentic self, I got to deal with the ridicule. Now I got to know, I got to see who's going to fall back from me. I got to see what's finna happen because I'm finna be really me now.
So why do you care so bad who gonna be, you know what I'm saying, backing you? What's the big issue with that? I mean, for you to be really you. I mean,
people is fighting. We are fighting our egos. We're fighting our egos. My ego made me want to be, I'm gonna be honest here.
Pride always come before the fall.
My ego made me want to be better than other people. I can claim the best, but I don't have to claim the only best. I can claim the best, but if I say I'm better than you, I know I'm better than the nigga. What the fuck? I know I'm better than... That's where my ego steps in. And now I'm in violation of my real self. My shadow's in the front now.
Woo!
You know what I'm saying? Now you looking. You ain't even looking.
Nah,
at me.
we just talked about the shadow yesterday, but that's exactly what.
Yeah, this is.
What
real.
heard? Yeah.
This is a real thing. Now, I didn't think this was real, D-Man. I didn't think that because I was, I was raised a certain type of way, and I didn't think this was real. So, just living life and meeting new people and adventuring in different endeavors gave me so many different perspectives that I was forced to look at myself like, damn, man, I thought I was right.
Hey, remain teachable. Stay open.
There you go. You always a student. We are always students.
That's all I ask.
Always.
Remain teachable. Stay open. Open for new information. Open mindset. Open for change. Anybody can change. All you gotta do is just, apply yourself. I mean, to what, whatever you do, like if you sell dope, if you study real hard and you're a doctor, you apply yourself to that incision.
Right.
To be the best doctor so you don't kill nobody. Apply yourself like you study in a book. You can find that one thing that you might want to change when you look in the mirror and be like, oh shit, I got these stretch marks and this stomach roll. I want to change that. But first you had to actually see or believe that you was a little chubby.
That's right.
And you wanted to go work out.
That's right. You gotta look at you got to look at yourself. You got to look at yourself because your shadow will hide from you and other people will tell you about your shadow.
And you still ain't gonna believe it.
And you'll be like, huh? It's
3
a
people
shadow.
might say you're a dog and shit, you gonna be like, I ain't no dog. But when that 10th person finally come and say you're a dog, you just might stop like, am I a dog? Do I bark? No, you just do tricks. Spin around wag your tail. Just look at yourself, just a little bit. And I'm telling y'all this so I can, go home and I can continue to look at myself.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
I mean, some people say I use profanity too much. I'm like, shoot, I beg to differ because a lot of time I don't. But it's just different times when I don't need to is when I don't. But what about all the time? Like,
You know what? I ain't gonna lie, D, man. I feel like this. I feel like if you can hear all this shit we talking and only hear the cussing,
you weren't paying attention, was you?
you know what I'm saying? Like, curse word is just a form of expression. They teach you in grade school
It's a made up word.
that speak and art and poetry and all these forms of expression. You speak and you say what you need to say to feel the emotion, to rise the emotion, to get what you need to say out. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes cussing is just a part of it. I ain't gonna lie. Now tell me what you think about this. All right, remember the young guy I was telling you about? Okay,
Tenfo.
all right. The one who said it didn't matter what I did as long as I got the bag. Now I'm looking at the youth today and I'm asking myself, okay, they don't care about profanity or anything like that. You know, they don't really home in on it like that. Okay. Now the question I'm gonna ask you is this. Is it safe to say we was taught morality to be controlled?
It's safe to say that because I'm going to run this all the way back. I'm going to run this all the way back to when we kind of got here. That goes to even religion. You know, when they forced Christianity on you and half of them didn't even know how to read. But some of their Bibles was like, you niggers is not in it. It's not meant for you. But when you read, it says that all souls are your creator. Not some, not half, but all souls goes to your creator. Now, how do we serve Christianity in all of this and we don't know nothing about, but they're just what we believe? Because we were slaves and that's what you put on us. The ones with the real information that came from their home that got took, a lot of them jumped off their boat because they weren't even with it. Some made it, some was killed. But just like even that book, it been changed in different formats so much. What do you know that you're reading is real? Or any percentage? I'm not saying anything other than that, but it's just something to intrigue your mind. And they whooped us and told us some songs to sing and told us some lines in their Bible or their religion. And we're supposed to take it with us all through life and send it down. But there's parts of their ways of shaping and molding us to their white God, to their white Jesus.
Now, I ain't gonna lie, like conversating with people, y'all, and those who do this gonna understand this. When you conversating with people and you sharing information, the first thing they're gonna encounter is their ego. Because I know people feel like, cause I was that way. I knew you couldn't tell me shit when I was a Hebrew Israelite. When I was a strict Hebrew Israelite, you couldn't tell me nothing about no Bible, you couldn't, because the reason you couldn't tell me is because the wording and the energy that was given in the synagogues when I went was, you're right, you're better. So my ego stayed up front, and I never let information that I felt was right in because of that ego. So when I talk to people, I see the same thing in them. When you say something that makes logical sense, and they still reject it, that's because they in a fight with their own ego.
Hey, remain teachable. Leave yourself open for new information.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, that's what we doing here, man. We just learning. You know what I'm saying? We just living and learning, experiencing.
Living and learning. Don't be afraid to learn. Don't be afraid to live.
That's right.
Truly live. Love yourself.
Try some new shit. Try some snails, goddamn.
Prosper. Hey, I got 310 with a grin. Straight out that pod, though. Hey, thank you for choosing another episode. Shout outs to Jessica Brooks and Eugene Willis. Shout out to the Barbershop Shack and Carlos. I see y'all next time.
Hey, shout out to Athens. Shout out to the West Side. Shout out to the East Side. Shout out to everybody that I know, everybody that I don't know. Y'all one love. One love.
What he said.
And it's not the barbershop shack, it's the barber shack.
What did I say?
The barbershop shack.
Do I say it wrong every time?
Yes.
Shut up. I do.
And it's not my tooth, it's my tooth.
Hey, they get it.
Man.
It's the underground. It's a long way up. It's a long way down. Sometimes you get to past the ones you see on the way back down. It's a long way up. Yes, sir. It's a long way down. Yes, sir. You got to learn to love yourself before someone else. I said it's great to be a Georgia Bulldog. Say it's great to be a Georgia Bulldog. I said it's great to be a Georgia Bulldog. Even if I live in Cali, it's how me.